Hey everyone, in this video, I wanted to go over this project I have with InterVLAN routing and OSPF dynamic routing. Here in the topology, you can see we've got three layer 3 switches, and we've got all these computers connected to them where we've configured the VLANs and OSPF routing, so these all can communicate with each other, all these departments. So the first step I did was configuring all the PCs with their IP addresses and gateways. So here, if you go to IP configuration, we set up all these IP addresses with their subnet mask and their default gateway, which that's the IP address that was set for each VLAN. So that was the first step, going through all of these computers and configuring their IP addresses. And the second step, uh, configuring the InterVLAN routing. So what we did is I went to these switches here, and I'll take you through the commands real quick. So enable, so the first thing I did was created the VLAN. So we'll start with VLAN 10. So that command just creates the VLAN. Configure terminal. So VLAN 10, and then I named it, I believe, sales. Yeah, it already has the name sales, so we don't have to do anything there. And I went along, went through 10, 20, and 30 for this switch. And then the next step was configuring the interface ports to the VLAN. So interface VLAN 10, that gets me into the interface. And then I added IP addresses for each one. So I have them here, the IP addresses, which will be the gateway for these computers on this VLAN. So for VLAN 10, the IP address is 10.0.10.1. The subnet mask 255.255.255.0. And then no shutdown to turn on that interface. And then I just repeated that for each VLAN on this network. So then the next step is to configure each of the interfaces to have access to its respective VLAN. So the command for that would be interface fast Ethernet, and I just went through one at a time. We're going to go switch port mode access. And I want this switch port to access VLAN 10. And I'll finish it with an IP routing command. And so I went through each one of these interfaces on the switch to configure them, which VLAN they'll be using. So after I did that on each switch, the next step was to assign IPs to these switch GIs. to do that, interface GI O/1, and its IP address is right here. It's 192.168.10.1. Oops. The IP address 192.168.10.1. Subnet mask 255.255.255.0. I'm going to give it a no shutdown command. And I went through and assigned each one of these GI ports on every switch and gave it an IP address. So once that was completed, we needed to set up OSPF routing. And how we do that is we go to each one of these switches here. We're going to go router OSPF1. And what I'm going to do is add the network that I want to reach. And I want to reach all of them. So the first one I'm going to add is this 192.168.10.0 with the wildcard mask 0.0.0.255 and area 0. One thing I did when I had all of them, I copied them into my notebook here. So then I can make it quicker and go through each of these switches and just paste all the networks I need access to. There we go, and I went through each VLAN or each layer 3 switch and set up OSPF routing. So let's go to this PC here. Make sure everything's working. So let's ping this computer next to it, 10.0.10.3. Getting a reply. Now let's go into this VLAN here, the next one over, and ping a computer from there. There we go. One more time at 100% success. Now let's ping a computer in a different VLAN on another switch. Make sure everything's working. 10.0.40.2. There you go, success. Let's ping VLAN 50.0.53. There we go. Now we'll ping a computer from this VLAN 60.0.60.3. Awesome, zero loss. So there you go. There's a quick overview of SVI InterVLAN routing and OSPF configuration. Thanks everyone. Have a great day.